Yes, this video tells about case study. Everyone would have familiar with this word case study, right? Today's my topic is case study on decision making. Yes, people nowadays get confused with how to take decision and whether the taken decision is going to be end in a nice way or not. So many confusions. Yes, and look at this here. The decision making, a decision is a judgment, right? Decision making process is continuous and crucial component of managing any organization or business activities. So what is decision making? The process of making choices by identifying a decision. Yes, for that you have to gather informations and assessing alternative resolutions. Okay, and the using a step by step decision making process can help you make more deliberate, okay, and thoughtful decision. Your thoughtful decision by making thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives. So these are all comes under your decision making. And look at this hurdles faced during effective decision making. Hurdles is obstacles. When you make a decision, you have to face all those things. Okay, one is the level of decision making is not clear. Yes, and you don't have enough time to make a decision, because sometimes we make a decision or we make a decision in a very short period, a very confused state, right? So the next one is lack of reliable data, because sometimes we don't come up with many informations, or we don't have enough time to talk with people, and we don't get informations related with others, because in life people may faced like all the problems, more or less it's gonna be same. So if you don't have enough time to talk with other people, the experiences during your situation, how they have taken the decision, so these are all shows that lack of reliable data. And risk taking ability, yes, because sometimes when we make a decision in a wrong way, we have to be ready with face the risk and too many options. Even sometimes when we talk with kids, we will give them too many options. Instead of giving a right decision, we will give them options. Even that is gonna not give you a good decision. You are not a good decision taker. Yes, and inadequate support. You are not talking with your elders, or sometimes in office, organization, companies, they don't produce any documentation, supporting documentation. So you are suffering with making decision. All those comes under this inadequate support and lack of resources. This is the same thing, that lack of documents, right? Inability to change. Sometimes you cannot change the decisions. So these are all the hurdles you're facing while making a decision. And look at this. So there are so many hurdles you have to face before taking a decision. And what are the skills related to decision making? Because if you want to avoid the hurdles, you have to be more skilled, right? The first one is you have to be a good leader. Yes, and you have to be a good troubleshooter and active listener. Yes, sometimes we avoid people who are all giving you uh, like when they come to share the experiences, or if something happened because of the wrong decision, sometimes we don't have enough time to listen, or we just ignore them, right? So you have to be a good listener first. Yes. And interpersonal skills, we need interpersonal skills to take decisions, and collaboration, we have to work on team, right? And communication, the verbal communication is very, very important. Moreover, verbal and non-verbal both is important to communicate any messages or information. And logic, sometimes people say think logically, right? So that logic skill is very, very important. And problem solving, if you are a good problem solver, in case if something conflict occurs between the members of your team, right? Members of two people, you have to be a good at problem solving, right? And critical thinking is very, very important, because it saves you from getting more spoil. And time management, that's very, very important, because you are in a neck of the moment to take a decision, and you have to be work on time management. And analytical skills also an important skill, which is help to take a good decision. Okay. And the next one is the 5 tips. I'll tell you the 5 tips for making better decisions, because if you concentrate this, you can be a good decision maker. See, sometimes we always seeking perfection. We all know nobody is perfect in this world, and nobody is good at decision making. So your first thing, you have to stop seeking perfection, because don't act that you are a good good at decision making, or don't come up with bad ideas, because sometimes your mind says that is good, but when you talk with other people, they say different opinion. So you please stop seeking perfection, right? The second one is be independent. Sometimes we talk with more people, and each and every one tells their opinion, and shares their ideas, and finally you are the one, you have to take the decision. So be independent. Consulting with others is not a bad, and talking with elders, it's not a bad idea, and seeking ideas from other people, that's also fine, but the final decision is with you. So please be independent and turn your brain off. Okay. That's why sometimes we think more on the while taking decision, whether we have taken good decision or bad, what will gonna happen after taking the decision. Our mind is like a mad monkey. Sometimes it tells you, gives you different opinions. So please turn off your brain off, right? Don't problem solve, decide. Yes, that's also important. And admit your mistakes. See, sometimes we don't admit our mistakes, right? If your feelings directed you wrong, correct the errors and face up. Even making the wrong decision will bring in more respect and loyalty when you admit you have made a mistake and resolve it than if you are habitually indecisive. Okay, so these 5 tips definitely it will help you to give you a better decision. And see here, I'll give you the situation, okay, how you gonna take the decision making. So Suji is a very pretty girl. She has a beautiful face and beautiful hair. She is not very happy with her body size. She weighs about 12 pounds more than her friends. Suji says, my friends are so much prettier than I am. I am so fat. I wish I could be as skinny as they are. It's not fair that you guys are so skinny and I am fat. Okay. When Suji comes home from school, she's starving to death. She's a picky eater. She doesn't like the things they serve at lunch. Okay, so she spends her lunch money in the candy and Coke machines at school. When she gets home from school, she makes herself an extra large milkshake because she's so hungry. Okay. So now you understand what is Suji's problem and how you have to take a decision. Okay, that's very, very important. So see, first what I have to do, you have to identify the problem. Okay. The second one is, what are the person's choices? Okay. And the third one is, you gather the information. What information should the person gather that would be helpful to know more making a decision? You have to gather the information and consider the outcome. Yes, what would be the results of the decision? Okay, make the decision. What should the person do? And evaluate your decision. Why do you think this is the best decision possible? Okay, so you have to work on this before taking a decision. That's very, very important. And look at this. Advantages. What are the advantages in decision making? Gives more information. Yes, when you start collecting the informations to do this case study, right, you will come up with more informations, ample of informations. And the second one is improves the degree of acceptance and commitment. Yes, of course, because you know way to accept, way to say no, and what are the commitments, all this comes. And it improves the quality of decision. Yeah, right, because instead of making a quick decision after gathering so much information, after gathering resources, you can take a quality decisions. Okay. And what are the disadvantages? Now we have seen the advantages. Now it is a disadvantages. One is because when you get more like resources, you have to travel, or you have to spend more money. So it says that costly. Okay, something even the money you spent, the time you spent, time consuming. It definitely will be disadvantageous, because some people, they're busy in their busy schedule. They don't have enough time to gather the information, right? So these are the these are the disadvantages, and the individual domination, because we already told that you have to be individual, work on individual, right? So sometimes it makes you to make a dominant role. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. I hope you understand what is case study, and what are the benefits and disadvantages, and what is decision making and hurdles faced during effective decision making, and what are the skills you related to decision making. And I have already shared the important 5 tips for making a better decision, right? And I have come up with some example that girl is too fatty, and she started comparing her with her friends, and but she does not stop eating because she's addicted with consuming more fast foods. So how you have to take decisions. So these are the things I have covered in this case study video. I hope definitely it will help you to do your case study. Thank you.